Energy management and energy storage. I think this is one of the real big challenges of our time, and especially since 6 months we know that energy has a very high value and is getting a very high price. So I welcome you to this session of today, and I'm happy that you're here, and I'm even more happy that I have a speaker, a very renowned speaker. This is Markus Kick from Phoenix. Hello, Markus, and you are talking about the way to a net zero factory, smart utility metering, reporting, and modular open automation.
Wow.
So the floor is for you, and
Thank you very
Markus, please tell us the way to a net zero factory.
Hopefully. Thank you very much. Good morning. I have here 15 minutes, so I think it's way too less to tell you something about how do we get a net zero factory, but at least to try it. I avoid to tell too much about Phoenix Contact, even if we would have here a booth not far away, by the way. My topic is here, the way to a net zero factory, what could be done to get this ambitious objective done. Well, 15 minutes, so I was thinking about what can I tell you from our big solution portfolio or for the market, what we can do. I can just teaser you 3 topics what are for me most important, and that's it. The all-electric society, what is behind the all-electric society, why is it so useful for us? Then a little puzzle for the so-called all-electric society, which is called, or what we call digital factory now. The most important word here is not digital or factory, it is now. We have now to act, we have now to be able to do something in our factory, and this is where our focus is. You will hear later also from the gentleman from Eaton, how can the building be connected, and last but not least about endless connectivity, and this is what Phoenix Contact wants to build, and I think also not only Phoenix Contact, the whole industry. We need to have an endless open connectivity, we need to have open ecosystems in our factories that we can use what we are having at the moment. Yeah, to me, Markus Kick, I'm responsible for the Digital Factory Now initiative at Phoenix Contact in the vertical market. And well, I think 50 minutes are way too short, so please contact me later over LinkedIn or just mail me. Our world, our factories, whatever you are producing, if it is glass, not far away from here, if it is bottles, jars, if it is a nice spicy food factory or whatever, we are all facing the same issues as at the moment now. And 3 way important topics. It is globalization. And for globalization, we need a different thinking in automation and digitalization. Meaning getting the step done to a more open economic automation ecosystem. It is way about demographic change. How can we handle the demographic change? And therefore, it's about machine learning solution. But machine learning solution in a way that it's easy to understand, that it's easy to implement and fast to implement in our existing production, because we cannot change it, we cannot stop you can't stop a glass melting furnace, right? It's just impossible. My topic here is the puzzle decarbonization, creating a secure, do not forget when you are thinking about security, about the OT in your factory and efficiency. And we call it net zero factory. The objective, I like to tell you, what Phoenix Contact really as a whole company, or what we think the world should be for, is the all-electric society. A future of industries where we have energy from renewable resources available in a sufficient quantity and, of course, of affordable prices with net zero emissions. Therefore, I have prepared 2 little videos, not too long, and I hope it does work. The all-electric society.
The key areas of electrification, networking, and automation have for many years been the core competencies of Phoenix Contact. Today, With our products, solutions, and services, we're already contributing to making the concept of sector coupling a reality. And as a result, the vision of a sustainable future. This is why we're working with complete conviction toward the all-electric society. An enormous task, but one that we cannot succeed at alone. Therefore, together with our partners and customers, we want to develop solutions for the challenges of tomorrow and also exploit the huge economic opportunities that lie along this path. Let's take the journey together and pave the way to the all-electric society.
This is the all-electric society, and there was a very important word: it can't be done alone. And if we do not work in an open ecosystem, we will fail. All our great emissions, objectives and purposes would fail. One easy example for this, we call it the utility metering and reporting. Is another short video I like to show you what is, again, a little part to couple a sector, what we call here the industry.
Phoenix Contact enables the industry, for any number of production sites, to collect requirement data, process data, and energy data, and to evaluate that data at one central location. In this way, power generation, storage, and consumption can be balanced optimally, not just for one factory, but for entire industrial networks. For this purpose, Phoenix Contact offers highly secure, web-based platform solutions that also enable remote maintenance of machines and production plants. Maintenance times, system failures, and system downtimes are minimized, and CO2 emissions are reduced significantly for even more efficiency and sustainability in production.
What you have seen here, what we call use cases or application, like metering your utilities, what you are having, it is important that we do not want to exchange something in your existing factories. We don't care about this. It is something what you can take, install, and the systems are learning with you. Learning with your production, learning with your skits, learning with your complete factories. Well, I don't think it is so surprising what the market situation is, but we know the rising energy costs. We know the unforeseeable legal risks. The next years, the corporate sustainability reporting, at least here in Europe, will play a major role, not only for the big players, also for small, medium-sized companies. They have to know what is my carbon footprint of my role, of my class, of my char, or whatever. So therefore, we need a system which is totally independent and not interested if you're using water, if you're using natural gas, heavy oil, oxygen, nitrogen, electrical energy. It is not important. It is just important that you have the possibility to implement in your factories a way which is agile and flexible. Be a tiny little mouse and not the big elephant, then you find the really most important utilities in your factories. And therefore it is important what we have seen in the market with our customers, with our collaboration in the market, that those systems are compared with the national cybersecurity standard IEC 62443, that they are in that IoT is in an open ecosystem, that IoT can directly talk with your differential pressure sensors, with your thermocouples, can talk with your existing DCS ERP systems, and must be individual, because you have the small and medium-sized companies as well as the big ones in the market, right? Let me sum it up a bit. Those four things I have daily in my work when I'm talking with customers from different industries. It's about sustainability, it's about those directives, it's productivity and interoperable. If we handle those four words, so for segments, we are able to create transparency, and transparency is what we have to bring to the factories, because they can't change the natural gas at the moment, because they have the natural gas at the moment. They can't go away so fast. And therefore, on top, we have seen it was way important to have developed 4 segments for using, doing, and getting the information of data. Use the data, think about the network infrastructure, think about the security of data, and think about how can I collect, store, and analyze the data. For a whole factory, not only for a simple machine, not only for a simple gasket or whatever skid, it must be always adaptable. And therefore, we then created the word digital factory and now, because this now empowers us underneath the all-electric society to act now in any existing factory. Whatever you're doing, whatever ERP, MES systems would have, how many AGVs are running through your factories, or how many robots, how many renewables you have connected. We need to create a system where no more data silos are existing. If we have a part from Eden, my next speaker, that must be easily and very fast connected to the goal being CO2 neutral, maybe in 2 or 3 years or even faster. And therefore, sometimes it is way important that we ask the right questions in your factories, meaning, are we really aware of our network load? Do we really know how many data we have? I think everyone has their network, has their DCS, ERP system, but do we need those data? Is big data always more and more data? Think about idea to cash. Invest a little money and have a big result. And the last thing is, maybe is my industry in the meantime an important entity regarding the NIS 2.0, the National Cybersecurity Standard here in Europe. And how fast can I implement, if I change something in my factory, an automation or digitalization project, right? Endless connectivity within an open ecosystem. An open ecosystem was the prerequisite for us to create such a way of thinking, to change our own mindset. What you see here is below what we did on ourselves. So we were the Phoenix Contact, we're testing everything on their own, in their own factories. With these systems, let's call it black box system, which were installed somewhere in the factories, in the ground, to the natural gasket, to the machine. We were not changing and touching the existing automation, MES or ERP or DCS systems. And independent of the utilities we were having in our own factory. A very important figure out of this was that the existing machine were communicating, transferring data every day 100%. The easy question was, is this really what we want? Or would be less more? And we figured out that we, at least in our own factories, what we are allowed to say, really just need to have 3 to 5% of the existing skids, machine, and plants in our own factory. The rest was just a waste of time. A waste of time where we had way too much network load, way too much security on the OT side, and of course then in the IT side. The whole journey, by the way, could be visited in our so-called PLC Next factory. It's an open ecosystem. Anyone is invited to have a look there. How did Phoenix Contact at least manage the race for net zero? With that, I think I want to close. There are a lot of topics we could now talk, but my last speech would be, it must be done together, otherwise we would fail. And also for my next speaker, he goes in the same direction, more from the building side. It is very important that we get this interoperability, not only for the automation systems, but also for our global world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Markus. An applause for this very inspiring speech.
Thank you.
And I guess there are a few questions from your side. So just raise your hand if there are any questions. I have a lot of questions. If I may give you the first one.
Please.
Do you use artificial intelligence, AI, to improve the system in a factory, in measuring to get not always the same data and the same results, but learning from the data?
Absolutely. I think everyone is having something like this. Well, an iPhone, an Android, or some smartphones. Behind those systems is in these open ecosystems, there's an app store. Yeah, like you know from your Apple App Store or whatever you're using. When you say now, I figure out most important in my natural gasket is a differential pressure transmitter in line 7. Now I'm thinking about condition-based monitoring. Maybe there is something wrong since years. And then you have the possibility to jump to the App Store, install the app for condition-based monitoring, which is based on neural networks. But you never have to fear, wow, what is a neural network? I have no idea. It is all low-code, because this is also for smart and small, easy machines adaptable. Yes, it is. And we call it, by the way, machine learning next.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Is there any question? I'm also curious who you are, because we are here to fulfill your needs. We would like to give you the information that you need. So maybe you want to raise your hand. Who is coming from the business side? Who is coming from science? University? Politics? Consumer. So as there's nobody belonging to anything and you are laughing, why are you here? What is your interest for being here?
We are procurement at Unilever, so fast-moving consumer goods company. Actually, very interesting presentation. We are interested in this solution and maybe the next one as well, and we will visit you, Markus, so thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And as you're coming from Unilever, which is also a client of us, so welcome to, nice to meet you. You are coming from the business sector. Okay? I mentioned the sectors. So I will ask this question again, and now I would say if there is no more questions to Markus, thank you very much. Give him a warm applause for his presentation.
Thank you.